As we ponder drastic countermeasures against the new profound darkness, an extra-dimensional planet lies waiting beyond a connected subspace. Its name, Earth. Following a series of disturbances that shook Earth to its core, the state of arcs had been changing. While photons exist, the profound darkness will return, no matter how many times it is slain. But we were closer than ever to pulling it out at the root and preventing anyone else from suffering in its cataclysmic wake.
Xiao? We're here.
Haven't seen you two in ages. You look tense. Are you okay?
I'm good. We've all worked hard to reach this point.
Guess I can't exactly tell you to relax. But don't worry, you two have my full support.
Okay, you two. It's time to take back Persona. While Persona is playing host to the profound darkness, it's still fighting its control. Every time Arx fights the profound darkness and starts to weaken it, Persona pushes back time.
We can't just leave them like that. We have to save them, right?
Persona is the profound darkness's core. They still live on. Something you know better than anyone. Saving them won't be possible unless we sever their tie to the profound darkness. And even if we do save them, the profound darkness will seek out a new host body. It could make matters even worse. Our best bet is to erase the profound darkness altogether. We've just never had a way to do that. Until now, that is.
Exactly! Hitsugi's Ame no Murakumo is the key. The cleansing katana that purges evil. It saved Al and Mother when they were Dark Falls for a time. No reason this should be any different. Just do the same as before.
With their help, I've managed to analyze the Ame no Murakumo's abilities and replicate them. Your tie with Persona. Your weapon. Here it is. I entrust this power to you. You should be the one. The operation is straightforward enough. Cut through the profound darkness's core. If you can sever Persona from the profound darkness, the two of you can wake Persona up together.
Absolutely. I've got so very much.
There's no escape!
I'm going full tilt.
Completed! I'm getting readings from Persona. You take it from here.
Right. It's time for us to... What's this? Why is it getting all bendy?
Space-time interference? Where is it trying to jump? And why?
Readings! Gone! Tracking over!
Calm down, Sierra. There's nothing to trace. No signs in the area. We've completely lost them.
Oh no!
Report from Earth Guide. No sign of our friend on Earth either, they say.
I see.
An urgent transmission from an operator. Is this a telescopic image?
Space is warping.
Is it a black hole? Those aren't terribly rare, but... they sure don't just pop out of nowhere! It's not a star's gravitational collapse. It's an intermediate mass. Observed values are coming back negative. Its expansion velocity is crazy. If it keeps expanding at its current pace, it'll consume the whole universe. This black hole defies all logic. Oh, what's going on here?
Does it have something to do with their disappearance?
It's hard to rule it out based on the timing. I'll continue looking into both matters.
Sorry for the wait, ladies. I see you've been apprised about the black hole. That'll save me some time. I've got 2 pieces of news. First, the good news. We've located a reading.
Really? Then we have to save them!
Not so fast, Matoy. Next, the bad news. The reading is coming from inside the black hole. It's the one and only absolute rest frame, the origin point of the universe, where planet Xion used to reside. That's where the Guardian is.
Stop right there! You're a slippery one. But this game of tag is over. The deal's dead or alive! Waste her! What?
Don't take me lightly. I'm prepared to fight!
Corrupt, but still royalty. But you're taking us just as lightly, princess!
A summoning circle? He's a sorcerer? Who are you?
The hell are you? Then again, who cares? Mess with us and you're both dead meat!
More ephemera? Steel yourself, stranger!
Man, I just love this stuff! Can't get enough of it! Get a move on, summons! Stop them like the pests they are!
Slaying our foes is the only way we can get out of this now. May I please request your aid? Please, allow me to thank you again for your aid. I was in such a hurry to meet my brother, I failed to take heed of search parties. May I ask your name? I owe you my life. I do not exaggerate. I am being hunted by the ruler of this realm. Please, introduce yourself. My name is...
That's quite enough of that, Lost Record. Well, now it is time to go ahead and back home.
Huh? Is something wrong? Vanished. Goodness, who was that?
What the? How did you come back? More to the point, are you okay? Does it hurt anywhere? Oh gosh.
Gone in a flash, back in a flash. I'm glad you're safe. Could you fill us in on what happened?
You're barking up the wrong tree. Sorry to send them back without warning. I was kind of in a hurry.
How did you get in here?
How? Well, I just went, and here I am. Oh dear, did I barge in on a private conversation? I should know to knock before entering a room. Silly me. I've just been alone for so long. Common sense doesn't even occur to me.
I'm not getting any teleport readings. She's not Arcs. From these readings, she's a body comprised entirely of photons?
Well, she's not a full spawn. Do you know her? Wow, you all look so wary.
Who are you?
Oh, duh! You don't know who I am. Sorry, that didn't even cross my mind. I'm Oma. Would it be clearer if I called myself the original Claris Crace? Right now, I'm Oma, though. I'd like it if you'd call me that.
Claris Craze the First? I thought she was dead.
Oh, my body's long gone. I'm like all photons now. I'm sure you know this, but my old body got busted up by Luther. Not my mind, though. The photons never vanished. I've been together with the Akashic Records ever since. Basically, I guess you could say that after I died, I turned into an Akashic Records ghost. It does sound kinda silly, huh? How can I convince you? Oh, I've got it! I'll show you my specialty. Watch closely now. 3, 2, 1. Boom!
What? But how? That's not teleportation!
We felt this sensation before. The technique Luther used to control time? Yup. He fiddled around with me and finagled a way to copy that, I guess. By the way, if you call that a technique, Cassie will get super fussy and be all like, "It's magic, damn it!" Reggie and Mary would always shake their heads and act totally stumped. Oh yeah, Reggie and Mary are still around, right? They'd know who I am.
I'm sorry. Reggie? Mary? Who are you talking about?
I mean Regius and Maria. They're still alive and kicking, right? They wouldn't appreciate those nicknames. You can tell, huh? They always did tell me to knock it off with those.
They're both out on assignment. We won't be able to see them for a while.
No, that's a shame. Wait, meeting them wouldn't help anyway. They're not tied to Xion, so they wouldn't see me. You know Xion? Totally! We spent a lot of time together. I know about Xiao, too.
So people can only see you if they have a tie to Xion. Is that why you came to us? Akashic Records ghost?
Yep. The way things are now, you're the only ones who can sense me. And you're the only ones who can do something about what's going on. I know this must be hard for you to swallow. I'll tell you everything I know. Could you at least hear me out?
Let's review. Sierra, run an expansion progress simulation based on the new black hole's present status.
Yes, sir! Putting it on the monitor. This is the new black hole that popped up at the same time that you went missing. And this is a prediction assembled from a Florenberg black hole analysis based on present information.
Everything's getting swallowed. The world will turn all black.
Conventional black holes do not expand at this velocity. Something's clearly up here.
Alma, tell me something. You called yourself a ghost of the Akashic Records. This return was undoubtedly due to your power. The readings were inside the black hole. So it stands to reason that you were in there, and you came from there. Tell me, what's in there? Where does that black hole lead?
I think you know the answer to that, Xiao. There's only one thing there. The location where the planet Xion used to be. The origin point. The birthplace of the universe. It's the Akashic Records itself. And you got lost on that world. Let's call it Omega for convenience's sake. The world of Omega is the Akashic Records made manifest. Maybe it would be easier to say it's what the Akashic Records dreams of.
Records made manifest? Does that mean that the string of events on Earth, that ether has something to do with this?
Probably. Photons are tied to the Akashic records. I bet photons fused with aether that became altered on Earth, and that's why they got all crazy.
But I thought the Akashic records were Xion, and she's gone now.
Well, you're a little off. Xion is Xion. The Akashic records are the Akashic records. It's true that with Xion gone, there's no one left who can access the Akashic records. But the Akashic records are still there. It's just that there's nobody left to see them. The universe is still being recorded.
So basically, the Akashic records are a library, and Xion's a librarian?
Oh, good one! That's a perfect comparison, I'd say. The library still stands, even if there's nobody around to manage it. Nobody was supposed to be able to access the Akashic records to begin with. But the Akashic records have manifested themselves as a single world, Omega.
The profound darkness jumped to this visible manifestation of the Akashic records and fused with it, thus leading to the creation of a potentially universe-consuming black hole, I take it.
Dreams are what we see when our brains are organizing our memories. It's the same for the Akashic records. I think the Akashic records are dreaming while sifting through its memories of the whole universe. That dream has taken shape. Well, actually, it's a little more complicated than that. The thing is, malice has entered the dream. If we don't do something, everything's gonna be engulfed in darkness. The past, the future, all creation as we know it. That's why I came here. I'm gone now, but I still want to see the future that all of you and Xion worked to weave.
The battle in Omega is currently in progress. I hope you'll all work together to halt its reign of terror.
I think I've covered everything I can explain. Would you be willing to help me out? Thank you.
The profound darkness has infiltrated the Akashic records. We have to slay it and sever their link. It's straightforward enough work. No different from what we've been doing so far. The thing is, I'm coming up blank as far as how to get there, and what Omega's condition is. First off, how do we physically reach Omega? There are no ARC ships capable of probing into a black hole.
Easy! We stopped time for the launch!
Why am I not surprised you can do that? Is it every Clarus Cray's job to pull ludicrously crazy stunts?
Sorry, I think I'm lost. Basically, gravity doesn't apply when time is stopped. We bypass the black hole's innate supergravity by stopping time. Then we send you to Omega. The theory is sound, sure, but it's still crazy.
It's not crazy at all. I got someone out, so there's nothing stopping me from sending someone back in. Not gonna lie, though, it'll be exhausting to do alone. It would be so much easier if Clara's craze were here. So, second, could you give me a hand? Who? Me? I could use another photon manipulation expert. You'll do fine, really. Okay, I'll do my best. You do the same and be careful, okay?
Sierra, you should head to Omega 2. I'll take over ship management for the time being.
You can count on me. Oh, wait. Does that mean I'm going inside Omega? I'm not proud of it, but combat is not my thing.
Okay, I'll try to give you a form that will allow you to focus more on navigation. How about that, Sierra? Exactly what form it will be might depend on what kind of mood Omega's in, though.
I don't know about this. This isn't how I imagined my first field assignment was gonna go. Oh, okay. I look forward to working with you.
Here's how this is gonna work. We'll approach the time-stopped black hole in the gateway ship. It'll be easier to send you over a shorter distance, so once you're ready, commandeer the gateway ship, okay? The world of Omega is what the Akashic Records dream of. It's a jumbled up mishmash of all the records in the universe. The civilization and culture of Omega comes from random planets and eras logged in the Akashic. It's a waking dream spawned from the collective memories of an entire universe, so you're bound to run into all sorts of crazy stuff. I know I'm the one who asked you to go, but stay on your toes, okay? And take care of things.
Here! Over here! Surprised? I was surprised myself. I was speechless. At least I can always stay close to you in this form. Okay, I, Sierra, will be your humble navigator. Let's start by finding a place with lots of life sign readings. This is a pretty imposing place. What do they do here?
You there! What are you doing?
You don't look familiar. Are you one of the king's minions?
Your strange garb is unquestionably suspicious. Identify yourselves!
Will we come in peace?
The little one speaks. What is this creature?
What? I figured I'd look right at home like this. Oh, jeez. What do we do now?
What's all the commotion?
Lady Harriet! My apologies for causing a stir. We found some suspicious figures skulking around. We were just about to apprehend them.
Suspicious figures? It's you!
Lady Harriet, no! Stay back. They're dangerous.
How are they dangerous? They are my guests.
Your guests. Even if that were true, this is hardly the time.
Varuna, I am most grateful for your consideration as my adjutant. However, I will be fine. Please allow me to handle this.
Yes, ma'am. Just call if you're in any trouble at all. I'll be right there.
Thank you, Varuna. Come, this way! This is my personal tent. No one will disturb us here. Do you remember me? You saved my life not long ago. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I am Harriet. I would ask you a somewhat impertinent question. Do you know of me? Of this land? In fact, do you know of this world at all? Yes, I thought as much. You wear foreign garb, you know nothing of us, and you wield overwhelming might. Truly, it is just as legend foretold. How long we have awaited you!
What legend is this now?
Well...
Hey, that rumbling and stuff outside can't be anything good, can it?
Lady Harriet!
You may enter.
Sorcerers have arrived at the Royal Army camp. They appear to be preparing for a summoning.
They're going to summon a Castrum Demonica here, aren't they? Strike the enemy camp before the ritual is complete! Varuna, muster all troops!
Lady Harriet, that would be dangerous. I think we should retreat.
If we keep retreating, they'll corner us at our stronghold sooner or later. We would be finished. And I can hardly flee alone while everyone else is fighting.
Lady Harriet.
We'll launch a pinpoint blitz. Varuna, notify the troops immediately. My apologies. I must take the field. I will give you a full overview later, should I return alive.
What's the plan? I sure do. Say no more. Let's go join Harriet.
Summoners! Prepare for Castrum Demonica summons! Crush the rebels who wreak havoc in our land! Stop the Castrum Demonica summons! Charge!
There are just too many monsters!
But we're this close! All men, keep pushing! We're through! This is it! What? Arx Demonica. You were one step too late! Come forth, Castrum Demonica!
Stand strong! Stand!
A Castrum Demonica has been sighted. Monsters are swarming the area.
Castrum Demonica? There's no breaching, it's Arx Demonica! All forces, retreat! I will take command!
All forces have retreated. Lady Harriet, you should do the same.
No! I yet have a role to play!
Lady Harriet, you wouldn't.
Let the secrets of the Buster be made manifest!
Lady Harriet, no, you can't. You know that no one has ever been able to control the Buster Tower before.
Yet control it I must! It is the only way to destroy the Castrum Demonica's Arx Demonica! Please, heed my call. Banish the encroaching darkness. Am I not good enough? Is my soul not...
About a close shave.
You! Why are you here?
Yeah, exactly. We can't just ignore someone in need. A member of ARCS? No. A guardian would never abandon someone.
A guardian? Thank you!
Well, maybe don't thank us just yet. Not even a guardian can go non-stop against an endless stream of enemies. The enemy forces seem to be driving Harriet's troops back. We have to breach that barrier and do something about that kooky castle. But that barrier is airtight. Breaking through is gonna be hard. Can we hold out long enough?
The Buster Tower just stabilized!
What is it, Harriet?
There may be a way for us to break through the barrier after all. Allow me to place my faith in your might. The might of the Guardian! A grotesque castle suddenly appears, bearing down on the battlefield. And with it, the entire battle changes for the worse. The Arx Demonica was birthed by the abominable fortress known as the Castrum Demonica. Said fortress is said to possess an impenetrable defense. It cannot be escaped from or assaulted. Those who try are crushed. More horrible than the castrum itself are the monstrosities that issue from its maw, mercilessly pillaging and murdering. Clearly, there remains no choice but to flee. At least, that was how it should have been. Just then, a visitor appears from another world. The arrival of a savior bearing the light of hope, who cuts through the wicked foes, assailing the princess. And the savior's strength will be etched into the annals of history forevermore. Our aim is to halt the enemy invasion as we destroy the opposing Arx Demonica and Castrum Demonica. Over there is the enemy encampment. Deep within stands the enormous Castrum Demonica. My soldiers have their hands full fighting off the monsters in the vicinity of the fortress. Eventually, try as they might, they will be overrun. The Castrum Demonica is the source of our foes. Should it remain standing, victory is unthinkable.
So we need to take down the Castrum Demonica in the middle of the enemy encampment? But what do we do about the Arx Demonica thing that's protecting it? That'll take some time to destroy.
We have a weapon for that purpose. I present to you the Buster Tower. The might of the Buster Tower can easily break through the defenses of the Arx Demonica. But my power is insufficient. I am incapable of managing such a weapon. However, earlier it reacted to you. It should now be possible to unleash its full potential. The Buster Tower is now capable of launching a Buster Ram, the only thing that can destroy the Arx Demonica.
The enemy is on the move! I don't think we have time to talk anymore. In summary, we use the Buster Tower to break the barrier. Then we smash the Castrum Demonica.
Yes, precisely as you say. A word of warning. If the Buster Tower is destroyed, it will mean defeat.
Okay, we're going into this blind, but let's give it a shot. I'll do my best to direct you. Good luck.
left now?
It looks like the battle on Omega is over. Thanks for cooperating with the operation.
To gather mana to summon a Buster Ram. Now, collect some mana from the surrounding area. Enemy forces have commenced their incursion. We need to focus on protecting the Buster Towers. We need to penetrate the Arx Demonica and destroy the Castrum Demonica. The enemy forces have been put down. Now's our chance to summon the Buster Rams and destroy the Arx Demonica. Time to attack the Castrum Demonica. Castrum Demonica's annihilated! Great work! Now head on back!
On behalf of my people, thank you for your gracious assistance.
I couldn't agree more. It's what Arx does. Anyway, I'm curious about that Castrum Demonica and the Buster Tower. Let's start with the Castrum Demonica that kept popping out enemies. Was it a bunch of rocks, or was it actually alive?
It is a castle and a living thing both. They are living fortresses that call forth endless waves of monsters. Thus, Castrum Demonica. They are foul wedges, driven into the world by way of large-scale conjurations.
Conjure... what now?
A type of magic that summons enslaved creatures from other realms. This may all be new to you, since you're both from another world. In this world, we have something called sorcery. It is a means by which one draws upon mana in the atmosphere to trigger supernatural phenomena.
It sounds comparable to what we know as photons and techniques. Maybe the reason it was so easy for me to analyze the Castrum Demonica and the Buster Tower was because they share similar roots.
Individuals can only harness so much mana alone. A person's sorcery prowess was generally limited to a fairly ordinary degree. That is, until these ephemera came along. Suddenly, seedlessly, ephemera, just the blossoms, began blooming all over the world decades prior. It came to light that the ephemera made extremely efficient catalysts for sorcery. One land mastered bodily enhancement. A second used them as regents for mind control potions. Another solved the riddle of replication. And in my land, they discovered the art of conjuration. The Castrum Demonica is the apex of conjuration sorcery. Once its ephemera-consuming summon is complete, it wedges itself into the ground. It deploys a highly durable Arx Demonica barrier and summons endless monsters to intercept its foes. Even the Castrum itself is quite deadly. It has been said to be impossible for someone on a human level to breach and conquer these fortresses, no matter what sorcery they avail. Furthermore, the act of summoning one consumes all mana and ephemera in the area, leaving no way to counter-summon another Castrum Demonica to fight the first.
So basically, the first side to summon a Castrum Demonica always wins?
Just so. The face of war in this world has greatly changed since the advent of the Castrum Demonica. The Buster Tower conjuration is what was invented to counter it.
The thing you were using in the fight just now, right?
It is a siege weapon, designed to breach the Arx Demonica generated by the Castrum Demonica, drawing upon the mana in the atmosphere. However, it requires an enormous amount of mana to control. Without ephemera, it was beyond our ability to harness.
But our friend here could do it, and we were able to destroy the Castrum Demonica.
Power always comes at a price. Sorcery requires mana. Technology requires hard work. Wielding such inordinate power at no cost is by no means a good thing. All this unrest, the tension between the nations of our world, the coup in my kingdom. Ephemera is the catalyst for it all. It's a fiendish flower whose nectar drives the world mad. Our aim is to eliminate it and restore peace to the land. No, the world.
World peace? Well, nobody could say you aren't aiming high. Not that I blame you. Harriet, would you be willing to let us have that flower? Channel your power into it. Channel photons, like you're holding a weapon. I knew it! Wait! You knew what, Harriet?
It is the legend I mentioned previously. A fairy tale widely known in our world since ancient times. It goes like this. When the realm is enshrouded in darkness, lament not, for a hero shall spring forth from otherworldly luminance, spirit guide in tow. The hero shall serve as a beacon and cross the path of light. They shall tread the path of the brave, shepherding all those who follow. In turn, those who take up arms shall guide wayward souls lost to darkness. Perilous is the path they tread, yet righteousness will prevail. Fear not our Savior, for by their hand shall light shine on blackest night, banishing the darkness forevermore. Visitor from another land, spoken of in legend. Or should I say guardian? Please, will you lend us your aid?
Gosh, the scope of all this just grew exponentially. In fact, are you sure you're okay with all this, Harriet? I get that there's a legend, but we're clearly not from this world. Do you really want to trust random strangers with something so important?
The legend alone, I would have taken with a grain of salt. But you have aided me in my time of need. And twice now you've come to my rescue. That is enough for me to trust you. More than enough. To fly to someone's aid without hesitation in a realm where you tread blindly. It's no small feat. I would trust you. With or without the legend.
That ephemera flower just now, it disintegrated in reaction to photons. That's an F-factor mass. As members of ARCS, we consider those a problem. Besides, how can we say no when you're asking so nicely?
Thank you so much!
Well, we've gathered plenty of intel. How about we pop back to the ARC ship to deliver a report real quick?
It's even more of a mess than I feared.
You're right about that. All this talk of sorcery and summonings, it's all over the place. Crazy doesn't begin to describe it. For what it's worth, I don't think our world's history has any bearing on Omega. None of their attire or equipment is in my databanks.
There's a lot to process here, and it is rather jumbled, but we've gleaned two vital pieces of knowledge from this right off the bat. First, it's possible to return from Omega. Second, it's possible to send you into Omega.
The Akashic records are a mishmash of multiple time axes. That's why Omega's history is such a jumble. But that also works to our advantage.
You're the only one who can visit the world on the other side. But a parallel version of you from another time axis should help you out. I'll trust your judgment as far as what to do on site. Helping this Harriet girl should help you learn more about Omega. It's a solid choice for a Guardian as well, of course.
So for the time being, our goal is to help Harriet out and destroy the Castrum Demonicas plaguing the countryside. We gotta run a full analysis of the Buster Tower for that. If we can emulate those, we might be able to produce our own facsimiles. Let's knock 'em dead out there.
Guardian. Thank you for your earlier assistance. I'm most grateful to you for saving Lady Harriet. Even something so obvious was beyond my power to do. That frustrates me. The only reason I couldn't assist Lady Harriet back there was because I was too feeble. I'm supposed to be Lady Harriet's adjutant. If only I were as strong as you, Guardian, she might be more willing to lean on me.
Hey, you're not thinking of using ephemera, are you?
From what we've learned, ephemera is awfully tempting, and we've heard very little about its side effects so far. Is everyone really okay with not using ephemera at all in light of that?
No matter how fiercely we lament our weakness, none of us would dare to use ephemera. There could be no greater betrayal of Lady Harriet's wishes. Ephemera twists the world, and it would be folly to say that no one questions that claim. But Lady Harriet strives for all our sakes. That much is undeniable. When she instigated this uprising to strike down Prime Minister Lutz, a man obsessed with personal gain, she did so purely for the people. She devotes herself tirelessly to the cause of righteousness, no matter how much harm it does to her mind and body. No. All of us had found a purpose for ourselves in supporting Lady Harriet in her quest. Guardian, I am truly grateful to you for rescuing her. But I am her adjutant. I'll be the one to protect her. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Talk about transparent! He's head over heels for Harriet! That was pretty educational, too. Everyone's more enthused about Harriet than about eliminating ephemera, from what he's saying. He's so dashing and handsome, though. He must have grown up from an upstanding family, with cultured siblings and all that.
Luther is indeed my name. Who are you to utter it so disrespectfully? Few people would react so strongly to my name and face. Few, except minions of Lutz, that is.
You are mistaken, Luther. This person saved me when I was being chased.
You simply accept that, Harriet. Couldn't there be a ploy on their part? To have you lead them right to our hideout.
Luther!
Yes, calm yourself. It's unbecoming for an heir to the throne to raise her voice so.
The same could be said of you, Luther.
I was stripped of my right to exceed, remember? Which leaves me with that much more liberty in terms of my thoughts, my deeds, and my research.
Oh, I get it! That is what Alma was talking about! The universe's memories are all jumbled up. Since this is the Akashic Records stream, anything is fair game. But still, I wasn't expecting Harriet's brother to be Luther of all people. There's crazy, and then there's crazy! What is it?
fairy, just as the legend foretold. As for you, of course, you must be the otherworldly visitor spoken of in the selfsame legend.
You can tell that?
I stand at the forefront of sorcery research. One look at your mana flow makes it clear you're not of this world. Besides, this is a land where summoning is a reality. I was the one to discover their mechanism. It would be irrational indeed if I refused to believe in the existence of other worlds. I must say, though, I'm impressed that you speak our language in that form and fly through the air. Legend or no, it's quite fascinating. How would you like to be a research subject?
Oh, geez! The more things change, the more they stay the same! Hey! Whoa! Help me!
Point. Let's get back on topic then. Allow me to delve into the origin of our war and the state of our nation. It all started with this flower, ephemera. You've already heard about what it does, I trust.
Using ephemera as a catalyst makes works of sorcery far more potent than they would be otherwise.
This enabled the working of sorcerous miracles that would never have otherwise been possible under mundane limitations. Such strange flowers. They sprout up the world over, leaving no seeds. When their petals scatter, they fade away like morning fog. Some characterize them as gifts from on high, but in truth, they are quite the opposite. More of a deal with the devil, really. To wit, ephemera are demonic flowers that slowly erode the minds of those who use them, gradually driving the world mad.
What do you mean by erode minds?
Exactly what I said, Fairy. As one absorbs the mana given off by ephemera, their mind becomes increasingly eroded. It progresses slowly, unnoticeably, until finally, the user is no longer capable of distinguishing between sanity and madness. Then, they accept only those who are similarly afflicted. They cultivate an inescapable obsession with eliminating all others. Prime Minister Lutz is one such victim. He killed the king and usurped the throne. And you see what he is doing now.
This sounds an awful lot like F-Factor corruption. If the profound darkness is behind the rise of this ephemera, that would explain a lot. If continual use of ephemera results in people's minds being eroded, that's a huge threat. But how did you figure that out?
Well,
I was the one who devised the Castrum Demonica conjuration. I've allowed countless people to die after being driven mad by it.
but that's not fair! You're just working to advance the field of sorcery. You never meant to...
Excuses are cheap, Harriet. I've sacrificed many on the altar of my research. I am aware of my crimes, and why my right to succession was stripped away. And now, the very world is being eroded as a result of my research. That's a fact, plain and simple. Would you believe me if I said it was to advance the world? Somehow I doubt it. That's the true goal of my research, and really, Isn't that reason enough to continue? All I did was watch as people became corrupted. I'm the craziest of them all. If not for Harriet, I'm sure I would have suffered the same fate as Lutz.
Granted, you are the one who created the Castrum Demonica. But you are also the one who crafted the Buster Tower conjuration to destroy it.
Yes, and we've seen what that's gotten me. A spot right at the top of Lutz's hit list. Collusion with enemy nations on the use of Castrum Demonicas, larceny, insurgent R&D. The list of trumped-up charges goes on, I'm sure.
Ephemera was first discovered decades before we were even born. Its effects were tremendous, but nothing world-changing. It was the Castrum Demonica conjuration that Luther discovered, which changed the face of war in our world. Every country summons Castrum Demonicas to their borders and has staring contests with their neighbors, never directly attacking.
With no invasions, wars stay contained, and needless bloodshed is averted. By all appearances, it leads to a world at peace. Perhaps if one takes this at face value, the leaking of Castrum Demonica technology to other nations wasn't in vain. But that's only on the surface. It's merely one step on a slow path toward destruction.
Because ephemera drives people mad?
Yes, the Castrum Demonicas consume ephemera and scatter its corruption far and wide. We must ensure that they are destroyed. That is why I devised the Buster Tower. To be a counter-conjuration capable of destroying the Castrum Demonica's Arx Demonica. But handling one requires a large amount of mana. And more to the point, 0 ephemera. It's beyond any layperson's ability to handle. Neither Harriet nor I had the aptitude. Yet, you mastered it. Not only that, but you breached the Arx Demonica and destroyed the Castrum Demonica. What's more, you've even managed to replicate the Buster Tower summons through your own arts, and you can manage several simultaneously. If that doesn't qualify someone to be the savior, what does? They bloom by chance, conveniently happening to be a catalyst that improves summons. Coincidences that sweet simply don't exist. They're evil entities that distort the world and incite madness with every use. They must be driven extinct. The sooner, the better.
Luther.
I admit that him having Luther's face still throws me off, but he's being perfectly sensible about this. Ephemera, the flower that distorts the world, the flower that your photons disintegrate. We've tested it before, And these are crystallized F-factors. For all intents and purposes, they're part of the profound darkness. If it's the ephemera that caused the profound darkness to grow more active in this world... then we can't allow them to exist. It's sounding more and more like working with Harriet is the right call.
Princess Harriet lives, and is now working side by side with the savior of legend. Rumors of their cooperation have spread throughout the realm like wildfire. The people held the belief that if the legendary hero, who had come to save the world in its darkest hour, supported her, then her cause must be just. The Revolutionary Army's numbers swelled, but rarely did the slightest hint of a smile grace the faces of their leaders, Harriet and Luther.
We're carving a path to the royal capital, one castrum demonic at a time. I think we've got a decent shot at this.
Yes, I agree. We have one remaining concern, though. Elise, the Sword Maiden.
The sword who now?
She is a figure from legend, much like the Guardian. However, she comes from historic fact rather than folklore.
Before the advent of conjurations and ephemera, this realm was once under the dominion of a great dragon called the Crimson Fellworm. The hero and her companions slew the dragon after a long battle, built a castle atop its remains to seal it away, and restore the land. That is how our nation of Quento was founded.
Wow! Does that mean your family is descended from the hero?
No, we are descendants of her companions. The hero's line is passed down through her sword and her ancient power. They have no political sway.
The hero's line. Alice the Sword Maiden. While she has no stake in the political will of our Lord, her existence remains a threat.
How so? You just said she wouldn't meddle in governmental affairs.
High-minded or no, it's a flesh and blood person who carries the sword. And not everything is cut and dry.
Quento Castle, the throne room. The former Prime Minister Lutz listened impatiently to his officers' reports, languishing upon the throne.
How do you explain this state of affairs? I believe I ordered you to suppress the rebel army. Luther and Harriet yet live. And not only that, but our castrum demonicas are being destroyed the realm over. What is the meaning of this?
The castrum demonica is indestructible, but only so long as its arx demonica remains standing, sire. Should a means be devised of breaking the barrier, destruction is not out of the question.
Excuses! I demand action!
Compose yourself, Uncle.
How can you expect me to be composed when our castrum demonicas are falling left and right?
Princess Harriet's side has the power to destroy castrum demonicas, and they travel with the entity known as the Guardian. They are also backed by the royal bloodline. You control the kingdom, objectively speaking, but theirs is the side with just cause.
Just whose side are you on, Alice?
I merely state the objective truth as Sword Maiden. I believe that a parley would be in the best interest of our nation and its people.
Never! The royal line tried to doom the land. There can be no peace with them!
Uncle, did the former king truly seek to doom the land?
How can you even ask? Castrum demonicas and ephemera are absolutely vital to our land's continued survival in the world. To publicly renounce them would doom us all. Our nation would fall and be erased from history. The legend and sword you've protected would be gone with it. Isn't that right, Alice the Sword Maiden?
Yes. Without the castrum demonicas, we could not maintain our borders in this world. What my uncle claims is accurate. So why was the king so set upon renouncing them and eliminating ephemera, even knowing that? I'll have to ask them in person.
The official claim was that the former king was struck down for attempting to cast away his nation's sovereignty. According to this version of events, his public policy was too harmful to be endured. Sword Maiden Elise accepted those claims without question. She had read the royally stamped edicts for herself, after all, and put in the effort necessary to assure that they matched the Prime Minister's claims. However, something felt as though it was amiss. What reason could a benevolent king possibly have for being so forceful about the need to expunge ephemera and the castrum demonicas? The Sword Maiden who carried on the legend had a duty to maintain an accurate grasp of history. Elise took that duty seriously. When the Sword Maiden showed up, alone and unescorted, Harriet's group was surprised, but they welcomed her nonetheless.
I thank you for your gracious reception.
It is an honor to be visited by Elise, the Sword Maiden.
Please, there is no need to bow. My line carries on a sword and legend, and we have no political affiliation.
But Lutz is your uncle. Surely you hold sympathy for one related to you by blood.
By that logic, my bond to the two of you is thicker than blood. We can all trace our lineage back to the legend, after all.
And what are you here to discuss?
The Castrum Demonica. No, the Ephemera. I am here to learn the truth of them.
What do you get out of seeing through your enemy's eyes? Your uncle is at distinct odds with us.
The Castrum Demonicas are my uncle's prized possession. Should they fall, then the outcome of this war is clear to me. To which side should I devote my blade and strength? Who is worthy of my faith? That is what I wish to ascertain.
Ephemera permeates the minds of those who use it. It amplifies violent urges and drives them to eliminate those who have not been afflicted. I learned this while developing the castrums and presented my findings to the king, who issued a policy on the spot prohibiting ephemera. The Prime Minister and his allies disagreed most violently. They assassinated the king, blaming we royal siblings, and usurped the throne.
Am I to believe that in the absence of evidence?
You must have seen the evidence for yourself by now. Aren't you Prime Minister Lutz's niece?
Are you suggesting that my uncle has already succumbed to this ephemera phenomenon?
The Prime Minister we knew was a kind-hearted man who always put the nation and its people first. Lutz also took point personally in preparing Castrum Demonicas in the interest of national defense. He summoned more of them than anyone.
Which, in turn, has exposed him to the negative effects of ephemera.
He builds Castrum Demonicas across the land for the good of the nation and its people. We, the royals, destroy them for the good of the world. The irony is not lost on me, I assure you.
Luther.
That's the long and short of our pitch, as it were. What you believe is up to you. But something tells me the decision has been made for you already.
What do you...
Lady Harriet, reporting. We have a massive conjuration reading on the plains in front of our camp. It's a Castrum Demonica summons.
What? But there are no military forces stationed around here.
I imagined he assembled some forces while you were making contact with us. To exploit the Sword Maiden. Nay, one's own niece as a pawn. You truly have lost yourself to madness, Lutz.
Uncle! My uncle has always been a wise and kind man. He treated me well even before I inherited the role of maiden. I've always looked up to him greatly. I have accepted everything he told me at face value. What was I about to pen in this nation's history? In the continuation of our nation's founding legend? Lady Elise. The sword and strength I inherit exist to slay the Crimson Fellworm. They must not be used to other ends. Perhaps those teachings have simply been an excuse for me to avert my eyes from reality. Lady Harriet, Mr. Luther, and you, legendary savior, guardian. Let us work together to stop my uncle. If parley isn't possible, then we must at least curtail any further madness.
Do you understand what your words entail, Sword Maiden?
I am resolute. My uncle took the life of the king.
Then I expect you to see this through to the end, a legendary warrior. And if what we do turns out to be wrong, then by all means, turn your might and blade upon us.
You needn't so much as speak the words.
There are Castrum Demonicas in Wayland territory as well. Luther was right. They're all over the world.
Hey, Xena. Who are these noobs?
Wow, we're noobs to you? Is that any way to talk about people who rushed to your rescue?
Don't remember asking for it.
Get him, Holt! I'm sorry about this. He gets so hung up on posturing.
This country's called Wayland, right? What's going on here?
What, the fight wasn't enough of a tip-off? We're at war, girlie.
At war? With whom?
Everyone and no one. Everybody around us is an enemy. Duh. Death to the weak, life to the strong. That's how things work here in Wayland. If you want to know what's going on in our country, how about you come with me?
Is this a village?
I wouldn't even call it that. It's just a gathering point for survivors.
Hey, get him home! Thanks for earlier!
Whatever. You were pissing yourself earlier. Do me a favor and drop dead. We'll have fewer mouths to feed that way.
You're a real smooth talker, get him, Holt!
Like you just heard, we ain't even got enough rations to get through tomorrow. It's this bad all over Wayland.
Hey, get him, Holt! Can't believe you're still alive!
And I can't believe you're still mouthing off, brat. Would it kill you to show me some gratitude for protecting your ass?
I never asked for your protection anyway!
Now who does this remind you of? Don't give me that look! I was just pointing out a fact!
Malfonsina, my dad isn't back. He went out with everybody else.
Your father has gone very far away for the good of everybody here.
It's okay, Malfonsina. I know how this works. He's not coming back, is he?
I'm sorry.
Hey, don't cry. I'm in the same boat. Look, I'll grow big and super strong and slay the Emperor.
But what if the Emperor killed you instead? I would hate that.
I won't lose. No way in hell. That Emperor's as good as dead.
Ah, nice try, kiddo. But only one guy's gonna waste that damn Emperor, and it's gonna be me. Don't you kids worry about that. Just live your lives. Now go on. Back to the settlement with you.
This settlement took me and Gedemholt in. We want to protect them, but Castrum Demonicas are implacable foes, and our casualties keep rising. We should be okay for the time being with the nearest Castrum Demonica destroyed, but...
They're gonna make grabby hands again eventually. The only permanent solution is often the Emperor. I'll destroy the Castrums and Fiend Troopers, pound that godforsaken Emperor into mush, and put an end to this lousy country for good.
You might be thrown off by his violent language and compensation, but what he means to say is that he wants to bring peace to the land.
You've been in a prolonged civil war, right? Has anyone else tried to overthrow the Emperor?
Oh, certainly. And the current Emperor has slain every last one of them. He became the Emperor by being stronger than anyone else. Now all he wants is conflict against the strong. Nothing else matters to him. Whether the people suffer or the nation falls in the process is of no consequence.
He's just starting fights over and over again. Why would he do something so pointless? You're right about that. He has to be stopped, regardless of anything else. Plus, there's no question at this point that the influence of ephemera, more specifically F-factors, is present in this land. It's Ark's duty to deal with Falspawn. We'll rise to the occasion.
Meanwhile, in the Wayland Empire's imperial capital, Emperor Schreger and his brother, Elmir, stood by quietly, listening to tidings from the field of Castrum Demonica's corruption.
Looks like we finally got someone who can crush a Castrum Demonica, brother. Spreading rumors has paid off. Now the ignorant masses will rally under a nice, friendly banner. There's been a lull in Castrum Demonica and Fiend Trooper skirmishes as of late anyway. I hope this serves to get your blood flowing.
How strong is this so-called Guardian?
Now, dear brother. You can't just wolf them down right off the bat. Give them a little free-range roaming if you really want those flavors to develop.
You think you can tell an emperor what to do? You're getting arrogant. No matter. Do as you will.
In that case, I think I'll pop in and say hello.
Guardian, just how powerful are you? I eagerly await the thrill of our inevitable clash. May war spread far and wide. The land, the people, ephemera, everything in this world is an offering to us.
I see. It's apparent that investigating that world is going to take quite a bit of time.
First Luther, now Halt. It feels like anything goes on Omega. First, we stopped the chaos in one country, and now we're at war in another. There's never a dull moment.
The history of man is a history of war. Even the history of Arcs has been a long battle against the Falspawn.
You call this relatively peaceful, but war continues to rage.
Is it this stuff happens all over? Maybe that's why it's following the same pattern in Omega.
Xiao, what's happening on this side?
The black hole is continuing to expand, and it's begun to engulf neighboring galaxies. Its expansion velocity is highly abnormal. It's hard to be optimistic about this situation.
Falspawn readings in the city area. They just showed up out of nowhere.
Scramble all ARCS personnel. This shouldn't happen. Dispatch them for suppression, but have them exercise extreme caution.
We have to help them.
Emergency! Code due! Completed!
You're finished! Is that the last of them? Is it just me? Or were the enemies today stronger than usual?
I'm fairly certain something tells me that you're probably on the money.
Huh? Risa?
Yup, that's me! It's not every day the happy guardian couple scrambles together! This must have been a real spicy one!
We just happened to be on the bridge at the time. What did you mean when you said I was on the money?
The baddies! In a word, they got tougher. In 2 words, they got rougher tougher. I know, 'cause I'm always blasting and shooting and trashing and blowing those false spawn away! The ones that just appeared are special. They're clearly tougher and badder and way crazier than the false spawn we've been dealing with! Oh, and the intruder alert was like super late in letting us know, don't you think? It's almost like nobody even expected them to pop up.
Risa, do you know something about this?
I have no idea what happened. The baddies showed up abnormally, and they were abnormally strong. That's all I know. Okay. I'm gonna go play with some more of these rare, stronger false spawn variants. See ya!
Looks like the situation's under control. Would you mind coming back to the bridge?
Welcome back, you two. You did a good job of minimizing damage.
But Xiao, those false spawn that showed up...
I've compiled data on them. From the readouts alone, it's apparent that the false spawn have been enhanced.
The question is how?
It's hard to say for sure, but that's the best conjecture we've got as it stands.
My calculations are drawing a clear correlation between the black hole's expansion and the false spawn's enhancement.
What if the profound darkness is devouring whatever the black hole absorbs? Is that too straightforward?
If the profound darkness is connected to the black hole itself, it's not out of the question. The profound darkness corrupts all things. Its behavior wouldn't change no matter what it was dealing with.
So it's basically feeding off the things the black hole absorbs to buff itself up. And those effects are spilling over to its minions, the false spawn? Oh gosh, this is sounding worse by the second.
The black hole is absorbing a massive amount of energy. Sooner or later, it will be beyond our power to fight.
So we gotta do something about Omega before that happens, right? I've got a general grasp of the geography and political situation in this country. Going by the prolonged state of war here, the Emperor of Wayland is probably under the influence of ephemera. Which in turn means that if we stop the Emperor, we can set things right. Let's do it!
Hey, Guardian, or whatever. Where do you think you're going without even saying goodbye? If you're gonna off that thrice-damned Emperor, count me in.
Allow me to join you as well. It was I that invited you here. I can be your guide, and shield if need be.
I don't think they're gonna take no for an answer. What's the plan?
Ha! I always do.
Gedemholt and Melfincina were Waylandians in this land, journeying alongside the Guardian. While they had assembled a robust party, it was not a particularly sociable group.
Holt. We're resting right now. Would you like to talk about anything?
Piss off. I've got nothing to talk about.
Now come on, get him, Holt. Sorry. Acting standoffish and crude comes as naturally to him as breathing air.
Oh, that wasn't how I saw it at all. I must say, you two get along pretty well. What kind of relationship do you have?
Well,
Sina and I are both Fiend Trooper test subjects.
You're... what now?
just as Cuento used ephemera to devise the Castrum Demonica summons, Wayland has its own brand of sorcery. It's called demonization. It's a form of sorcery that enhances the body by I'm sure it won't surprise you to know that only a tiny fraction of the population, those most gifted at sorcery, were capable of doing it. But the situation has changed with the discovery of ephemera. With a little help from ephemera, suddenly anything was fair game, as long as anyone had any aptitude for sorcery whatsoever. Naturally, those without a knack for sorcery still vastly outnumber those with a gift for it. That's when the Fiend Trooper project was launched by Imperial decree.
It was His Imperial Majesty's generous way of turning useless, untalented trash into powerful warriors. And that Dreamweed ephemera, or whatever it's called, gave him just what he wished for.
So basically, this meant forcibly demonizing people with no aptitude for magic? Assumedly by tampering with their bodies?
Well, I'll be damned. The little squirt knows how to play connect the dots. You got experience with this stuff or something?
Well, I also know that bodies can't withstand that sort of tampering.
Oh, you got that right, Squirt. You're connecting the dots because you've seen the whole picture before, huh? But I bet you ain't seen anyone get so pumped full of mana that they burst. People burst in all kinds of fun ways, let me tell you.
Get 'em, Holt and I. We're test subjects in Phase 1 of the Fiend Trooper project. We escaped the facility. Out of the 4,096 initial test subjects, we're the only survivors. As far as we know, the rest are all dead.
Wait a minute! If your strength is derived from demonization, wouldn't using it put your lives in danger?
Ha! I've been futzed with enough as it is. Not like my life's good for anything anyway. All I care about is the Emperor. I'm gonna end him, personally. Cena and I will get him back for all the people who got screwed up because of him. He'll pay with his worthless life. Hey, Guardian. You'd better not give me some goody two-shoes speech about life being precious, or whatever. We're both in this to snuff out the Emperor, right? I'm willing to use you and all, but if you stand between me and him, I'll waste you first.
Crude though his words may be, he and I are on the same page in this matter. My life is dedicated to avenging the people murdered for his bloody whims. So I'm here to fight, just like Gedem Holt.
Sorry. I was a little distracted there. Part of me is scared, sure, but there's so much to think about. That talk about fiend troopers is eerily reminiscent of how the Photoners created arcs. They captured physically sturdy primitive races and effectively grafted photon manipulation powers onto them via infusion and gene splicing. The casualties they sacrificed before reaching the point of stable mass production is a matter of record. It's utterly despicable. If that's being repeated, even in Omega, it must be stopped.
The Guardian, Gedem Holt, and Melphancina made their way toward the Imperial capital, demolishing Castrum Demonicas along their way. The Castrum Demonica was originally Cuento technology, but they were laid out across Wayland with as much precision as in Cuento. Given how deeply ingrained the Castrum Demonicas were, the Guardian and company began to question the true nature of their history.
I thought Castrum Demonicas were a Cuento invention, yet there's so many in Wayland.
That's because once the technology was leaked, the Emperor decreed that they be summoned in all regions.
Sounds like the Emperor of Wayland is pretty familiar with sorcery and stuff.
He clawed his way to the throne with demonization, so he's a capable sorcerer in his own right, but...
It ain't that blasted Emperor summoning Castrum Demonicas. It's Elmir.
Who's Elmir?
It's the damnable Emperor's used tissue of a kid brother. Cocky little snot. They looked far enough apart age-wise that they might as well be father and son.
It's clear that Wayland has hit rock bottom as a result of the Emperor and Elmir both.
Rock bottom? How rude! We simply breathed some life into a listless land.
Elmir? What are you doing here?
I heard someone was breaking my finely crafted Castrum Demonicas, so I came out here to do a little field survey, as it were. You're the one I'm here to see. The Guardian that alighted upon Cuento. Yes, very interesting. I can sense incredible potential from you. Small wonder you can crush Castrum Demonicas. Between the Castrum Demonicas and Guardian, I must say, Cuento never fails to put out quality products.
You think you can just waltz out here? You got guts, Imperial baby brother!
My goodness, you're a loud one. I'm not interested in you, test subject. Would you mind staying out of this?
No beef with me? Too bad! You're still getting the horns!
What? If you're spoiling for a fight, you can play with your fellow defective fiend troopers for a bit.
No. It can't be them. They should be dead.
You catch on quickly. I suppose that's why you're a test subject. Call them Castrum Demonica Fiend Trooper hybrids, if you will.
Did you swap out the monsters summoned by Castrum Demonica for fiend troopers?
Precisely. After all, I had plenty of material to work with. They're all lacking in ability, but they make for acceptable enough soldiers. I owe it to them to make proper use of them. Otherwise, they'd die in vain. And wouldn't that be sad?
This is beyond the pale!
Shut your filthy mouth, you little shit stain! You think you can mess with us? I'm gonna murder you and that bastard Emperor!
My, how spirited. Go ahead. Trample the corpses of your friends to reach us.
Stay down!
All enemy readings are gone. And so is Elmir.
Then we're done here. Come on. We got a goddamn Emperor to kill.
What? Aren't you going to pay your respects?
I ain't got time to waste on...
Get him, Holt!
That's a good one. Might as well tell me to drop dead.
Our bodies are badly deteriorated from the Fiend Trooper experiments we endured. We have no time to waste at all.
But if you strain yourself in that condition...
We can deal. Our lives are a small price to pay. It ain't about how long your life is. It's what you do with it that matters. I ain't gonna be nothing like the ones we just mowed down. I'm gonna slay that damn Emperor myself!
While the sentiment is appreciated, I'm with Get 'em Holt on this. That, and we wouldn't even know who we were mourning. I wouldn't want to associate them with this.
They're both beside themselves with anger. Even I can tell. We can't allow this cruelty to go unchecked. We have to put a stop to it.
You're back, Elmir. You look like you had an amusing enough time.
Oh, amusing doesn't begin to cover it. I'm positively thrilled at how rapidly things are progressing. It's even better than I imagine. We'll have a prime specimen by the time it arrives.
Then we must be amply prepared to give them a fitting reception. So long now I've been trapped in languor, but now my blood is pumping again.
Then I'll leave you to it, brother.
The Castrum Demonicas were summoned the realm over and loaded with a superhuman vanguard. The Guardians group pressed onward, refusing to be cowed by the vanguard's howls of resentment. When they reached the Imperial capital, they found it cloaked in eerie stillness, almost as though it was devoid of all life. It was fitting indeed that the only one to reside there was the Emperor himself. Schreger, Emperor of Wayland, awaited the coming of his nemesis, alone in the silence.
You're here.
Are you the Wayland Emperor?
Indeed I am. Schreger, Emperor of Wayland. I must thank you for coming, Guardian.
Oh, he finally meets you, you cursed Emperor!
You will pay dearly for toying not only with people's lives, but with a whole nation!
Toying with a nation? I'm Emperor. It's my nation. To toy with as I please. If you don't like it, strike me down. That's what I empowered you for. Isn't that right, test subjects?
What's the point of giving someone power through modifications they don't even want?
Without power, one's fate is to perish. Might makes right in this world. Period. The weak can only submit to this reality. Surely you've lived long enough to grasp that. Right, Guardian? You didn't get this strong without trampling countless corpses underfoot. Whether man or beast, there is no morality in slaughter. All fall the same. Might makes right. That's the one universal truth of the world. Which is why Wayland has long focused on evolving its people with strength transcendent. Now it comes to a head. We have but to push this war across the world and seize even greater might. No further discussion is necessary. Strike me down with your justice. If you think you can!
A false, and it's got false spawn with it. Is it the ephemera? No, the details are too accurate for this to be a coincidence. Now there's no question that ephemera is part of the profound darkness.
Ah, hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about! So much for any moral ambiguity. Slay the monster, and we win. Monster eats us, and we lose. That's good enough for me.
Shregger, Emperor of Wayland, I will use the last of my life to end yours.
Futile! To me,
Your Majesty, code due. Completed.
What foolishness! My power's been dispersed? No. Has it been consumed? Now I see, Guardian. Your power is strange indeed. But that makes it all the more worthwhile to take! To fall at the hands of the test subjects. The ones I wrote off as defects. This is truly a most amusing twist.
Get him out!
Is that it? Is that really how you're gonna go out? With a whimper? Are you content with that? You miserable despot! With being cut down by someone stronger than you? Is that really all you wanted?
Let's go. Get him hold. The Emperor may be dead, but our battle is far from over.
I am far from finished. I will leave a wedge in this world.
Get him out!
Cena! You okay?
Yes, I'm just fine. This body's quite responsive, actually.
What the...
This wasn't the body I was trying to snatch, but it's surprisingly nice. It will suffice for a temporary vessel. Indeed, I am. Infusing oneself in another's body to snatch it is the ultimate essence of demonization. A vessel has no need of two souls. The weaker soul will vanish, and the stronger will remain. You can do the math, I'm sure.
You're telling me Cena's gone? Bullshit!
You move well for someone mortally wounded. But I can tell you have minutes at most left.
Damn it!
Did you have feelings for this body? Content yourself in death, knowing that you amused me to the last.
Shit. Seeing this body ain't yours to...
No, you're only hurting yourself talking!
Leave this failure to die and let's enjoy a fight again, shall we, Guardian? You will find me far different from my previous battered body. What's wrong? You don't have the heart to cut this body down? Then you shall perish, for absolute justice lies with the victor. What the... My body's not obeying me!
Cena!
Get him, Holt! Guardian! I don't want this! I beg of you, kill me! And the Emperor! The damnable wench still persists! Not for much longer! What? You should be dead! How dare you!
Maybe I should be. But I got my pride. I ain't gonna drop dead. Before Cena gets what she asked for!
Get him, Hulk! What are you doing?
I hate to say it, but I ain't in no shape to slay the Emperor. But I can give you my power. Let my soul empower you! Maybe that's a dick move to pull, but screw doing nothing. Screw dying with my thumbs up my ass. Here goes! Cena's not gonna like it, but too bad! Man, first Elder eats me, now I'm friggin' Guardian food? Oh, ain't karma a bitch. I always got the impression you smelled like me, ever since I first ran into you on Nefarious. Turns out it was 'cause you assimilated me. I ain't even gonna question it at this point. It's all just random Akashic Records crap anyway. No point in trying to puzzle it out. Go on, take it. You could use Elder's power right about now. And save her. Show me that chicken shit way you operate.
Photons just went into you? No. These are Elder readings? It's you in there, right? But your form, it's just like Elder's.
You've attained power to rival mine? Now you're a worthy opponent!
Guardian! It all comes down to a one-on-one duel between us!
We entrust our wills to you!
Give him hell with everything you've got!
Such overwhelming might, Guardian. No, you had a hand in it as well. Test subjects. You fought well. I accept defeat.
Are you okay? No idea at all. The readings were identical to those of Dark Falls Elder, but... Oh, right! Malfoncina!
Hey, I'm calling in my favor now. Hey, Cena. We look like a regular pair of dumbasses, huh?
We sure do, Kedem Holt. Instead of shielding you, I let myself get used against you. I must have looked real stupid.
Well, it's done with now. This meddler made sure of that.
Yes, I saw. The Guardian always delivers, I suppose. Thank you. Truly. It's been a long road.
You're damn right about that.
I'm kinda tired. Nobody will mind if I take a little rest. Will they?
They don't get to whine when they rest first.
Then... I think I'm gonna rest.
Sure.
I'll see you around. Kedem Holt.
See you around, Cena. This is the end for us. The end for memories of a record construct, Cena. And a dead guy. But it ain't your final chapter. You got a crap ton of stuff left to do.
Ephemera and the Castrum Demonicas, the insidious roots that erode this world. There should still be plenty of Castrum Demonicas left within Wayland's borders. We have to get rid of them. We owe it to those two.
I've reviewed your physical exam data. There are no particular signs of abnormalities. I nearly panicked when I heard you took on Elder's form, but the numbers are surprisingly stable. Since this, let's call it fall formation, uses F factors, it's actually reassuring.
So, if we could just analyze how it works and apply it broadly... What's puzzling to me is how you got that ability to start with.
I know what you mean.
Let's focus on the situation in Omega and leave the power study for further analysis later.
What I'm getting out of your report is that you basically rolled up and bowled over the Castrum Demonicus and the Emperor. Kind of a flippant way of putting it. Isn't that, like, a huge deal? Am I off base here?
You're not off base at all, Alma. Our friend here's a real freak, no matter how you slice it.
Hey, that's not true. They're perfectly normal.
Just by the way, Matoy, you fall into the same category.
Rude? Anyway, what would they say about Alma then? Hey, I'm no good at fighting. Claris Crace was way better at it than me.
What do you call sealing Elder in a planet if not freakish? Was that Claris Craze doing?
Actually, that one was me. We kept beating him and he just kept coming back. We had to lock him down somehow. That whole setup was something I just came up with spur of the moment. Good thing it worked out, huh?
Well, the verdict is in. All three of you are freaks.
Back to the matter at hand. What's going on with the black hole?
Around the same time we got your report, the black hole's expansion velocity started abating.
Yep, it felt easier getting you two out this time too.
You're producing results, both numerically and intuitively speaking.
Great! Then we just gotta keep it up in Omega.
It's good you're both in high spirits. Just don't push yourselves too hard. It's not that I'm worried. It's more that I'm concerned about something. When I'm manipulating photons with Alma's assistance, I get this feeling. It's a strange feeling. It's not like any of you, or like Falspawn. It's like I have a strange degree of control. Shao and I can't help you there, unfortunately. But if that's the vibe she's getting as the second, it can't be anything good. It's probably something we can't fathom.
The appearance of false Hunol defied our expectations, as did your newfound ability to call upon Dark Falls' power. Whatever you do, watch yourselves. If you two don't make it, neither will the rest of us.
He's right. If you push yourselves too hard, the second will pass out in fright. That might be a bit of an exaggeration. But really, be careful out there. Hey, look at that!
Those are Falspawn, the ones that showed up in our fight against Schrager.
I made sure you got Elder's power, but it looks like his false spawn minions split off and stuck around. We're in the Akashic records, but they're still like the ones on the outside. You better waste them all now, or it'll bite you in the ass later.
We have ample data on these, but there's still a lot of them. Be careful fighting them. Spawn coming out of Castrum Demonica's. Ephemera or no, this is really demanding our full attention now.
Oh my, I was wondering who broke the Castrum Demonica. Of course it was you two. If you're out here, does that mean my brother lost? Oh, that was quicker than expected.
It's you!
Oh, relax. I'm not about to start spouting drivel about avenging family. You only dispersed him, anyway. He'll reassemble sooner or later.
Who are you? What are you after?
Oh, my brother didn't spell it out? I want war. Everywhere. At any rate, do you have time to bother with me, Guardian? I should think there's trouble in Quento by now. I suggest you get back quickly if you want to save the world. Adieu for now.
I hate when the enemy is right, but this is concerning. We'd better get back to Harriet and the others.
All units have deployed, Your Highness.
Good, thank you.
How remarkable that this should happen while the Guardian is away. Luck seems to be against us.
Put your fears to rest. Moments like this are the very purpose of a Sword Maiden's life.
Your hands betray you, Sword Maiden. You needn't put on a brave face for us.
I admit I doubted this would happen in my lifetime. I hoped it would never be necessary to unleash this power. But the time has come. All I can do is devote all of my being, all of my power, to my blade.
I certainly would have preferred to have the Guardian here at our side.
If wishes could fight a battle, we'd have already won. Listen, here it comes.
Crimson Fellworm.
Fascinating. Perhaps we should take those legends of how it destroyed the world more seriously.
Phosphorescence! He's going to breathe fire! Raise a barrier!
No need. My blade speaks. It says to lay the beast low, to seal it away. My body is a vessel for that purpose. I'll end this quickly. All of you, Stay out of it!
Crimson Fellworm versus the Sword Maiden. Both are simply extraordinary.
All of you, keep that barrier up! The Maiden may be handling things, but we can't let the Fellworm get away!
Is something the matter, Harriet?
I don't know why, but when I look at that Fellworm, I'm filled with dread.
Is it now? I see.
It's over, Crimson Fellworm. This is no place for you. Go now and sleep quietly, deep beneath the earth.
Bravo! Splendid work, Sword Maiden. Seems the Crimson Fellworm was hardly a match for you after all. Or so I'd say. But wait, there's more. Look where you stand, on the grave of a man who sought power and fame, crumbled with his castle, who now lies among the ephemera. A thwarted soul, burning with chagrin, with rage. What do you think it would do if it found a vessel?
Police! Watch out! My blade's seal. It's not working. There's some other power here.
Sword Maiden! Filthy traitor!
That voice!
What? Is his soul inside the Crimson Fellworm?
Unforgivable! Unforgivable! All who dare defy me, taste my power and die!
Guardian! Thank goodness! You've come back for us!
Guardian, I'll burn you away with all the earth!
Is that the Crimson Fellworm? But what's this orb?
Just fine, Fairy. Lutz's soul is in the beast now. All thanks to the ephemera's power. The Sword Maiden's power was enough to seal the Crimson Fellworm itself. But the ephemera draw from a different source. Hence the seal's failure.
So it's a being that once wrecked the world, mixed with a force that's terrorizing it now? Now, that's just over the top. But if Elise can't seal it away, what are we supposed to do?
We'll just have to kill it. Let's see how mighty the Fellworm is when it's been massacred into tiny particles. I'll set your soul free, Uncle. have to seal it away. I can't watch my uncle suffer like this.
Listen, Guardian. You too, Sword Maiden. There happens to be a way we can strip it of the ephemera's power. One way and one only.
Luther, you don't mean...
Guardian, take the Fellworm out of action. Sword Maiden, you prepare the seal and provide cover. After that, I'll take care of the rest.
What is it you're planning on doing?
Something only an expert on ephemera could do. That's all. There's no time to explain. Get moving.
Guardian, fall back! My blade, be thou chains of sunlight. Ward off calamity and bind this skulking evil. Benoit! It's not working. Some other power is resisting the bind.
So, trying to heal damaged flesh through summoning and implant a soul. What a miserable joke. I'm the one who invented that technique. You're using research I already scrapped.
Here's where you belong. Not writhing around in that crimson fellworm. Whoever, or whatever you are, the only one fit to handle this technique is me! None of you. None of you are even worthy of being a subject for it!
Will the seal hold?
No. It isn't perfect. My blade tells me. The best we can hope for is that we've bought some time. We'll only have a short respite before the Crimson Fellworm reappears. That's our opportunity to defeat the Fellworm for good. And free my poor uncle's soul.
Luther!
Harriet, it's all right. I'm fine.
What did you do, Luther?
I only disrupted the process of summoning new flesh to regenerate the Fellworm. The beast's own power still remains. Someone who was using ephemera to strengthen it too. We need to approach it carefully, or suffer the consequences. Not a shred of hesitation. I suppose that's what makes you the Guardian. I'm exhausted. Let me rest for a spell.
Xiao, are you sure this new power is... safe?
I didn't pin you for such a worrier, Matoi. Like I said, there's no sign that anything's wrong. All their readings are completely normal. There's no indication they've absorbed too much of the F factor or anything like that. It's nothing at all like becoming the Profound Darkness. You could even say it's the opposite. But why don't we just ask you? How do you feel? Anything out of the ordinary?
Come on. Can you not see what a mess you'll make if you run your mouth now? Keep your damn trap shut.
Using this power you took without completely absorbing it to manifest a Dark Falls and use it to fight. It's a lot like Avatar arms.
I've never seen a power manifest like that. Why now all of a sudden? Logically speaking, I bet it has something to do with the ephemera. Maybe that interacted with the Guardian's photons to create some new power?
But aren't the ephemera themselves like fragments of the profound darkness? How could something like that give you power?
Sierra, who do you think is the host of the profound darkness right now?
Maybe that's why I don't sense anything off about you. I think I agree with Matoi. Your photons are flowing normally after all. Do you feel alright?
I'm not surprised that Matoi is worried, really. We'll keep digging and running checks, but for now, I'm just glad you're doing alright.
After a bitter struggle, the Guardian had wrested Wayland from the bloody grasp of Emperor Schreger. In Coento, the Crimson Fellworm had been sealed away once more, thanks in large part to the Sword Maiden's valiant effort and Luther's quick thinking. With these looming threats dispelled, the Kingdom of Coento enjoyed a moment of hard-earned rest. In the aftermath of the Crimson Fellworm and Wayland's fall, a single peaceful week passed. Harriet took her place as Coento's new monarch. She and her retinue convened in the throne room to discuss their next steps. One among them seemed distracted. Any word from the Sword Maiden regarding the Crimson Fellworm?
Our army is keeping watch as well. They've reported no problems as of yet. The Sword Maiden herself reports that the seal looks likely to hold for the time being. As for Wayland, true peace seems a long way off. The land is still rife with Castrum Demonicus. But the intermittent conflicts along our border with Wayland have settled down at least.
Then let's keep preparing to send them food and resources. Helping the people of Wayland back to their feet should be our top priority.
Our own land is far from rich in such resources, my lady.
Be that as it may, if we bungle this first approach to them, the consequences will be ours to bear forever. If we scorn them for being from another country, it could spark riots. We must avoid that at all costs.
What drivel, Harriet. Don't waste your time pandering to the riffraff of other lands.
Luther, do you know what you're saying?
Words of reason, my dear sister. Do you know what will throttle all inklings of resistance? A few executions. Show them blood, and they'll fall in line. Then, we send word that if they stand down, their lives will be spared. No one would dare ignore us after seeing how we laid low the mighty Wei.
Luther!
I'm sorry. Please, forget I said anything.
Very well. We don't want to meddle in Wayland's affairs and risk causing a ruckus. We'll ask them to sort out who will rule.
Normally, the late Emperor's younger brother Elmir would succeed the throne. But he...
Luther, what's wrong? Is something the matter?
I'm not feeling well. Please excuse me and carry on, everyone.
Something about him doesn't seem right. He's not usually so aggressive, is he?
Oh, Luther.
How did this happen? I didn't create the child just for things to end up like this. Wait. If I could only become all-knowing, then I wouldn't have to stoop to such foolish methods. Why won't you respond, Xion? Are you trying to tell me that it was the only answer there could be? No, 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 no! This is no solution! This is unacceptable! Yes. Yes. My knowledge will know no bounds. And then I'll...
What's the matter, Luther? You're the one always telling me to knock. Luther. What's wrong?
Oh, Harriet. My greatest masterpiece. You don't belong in this place.
What are you... That was Harriet's voice, wasn't it?
Lady Harriet! Is that... Master... Luther?
I'm picking up Dark Falls readings. Could using the ephemera have awakened it in him?
It's no use. I'll never hand over Harriet, my greatest masterwork, when infinite knowledge is finally mine!
Stop! No! How could this be? How could Master Luther take Lady Harriet right from under our noses?
Are you all right, Varuna?
I'm not the one we need to worry about. As irksome as it is, we must accept Master Luther's betrayal and deal with it. We must contain word of Her Highness's disappearance. It would shatter the foundations of our entire country if the news spread. We must search for her in absolute secrecy. Understand, Guardian?
Right. We know what we saw. It's up to the three of us to do something about it. Do you know where he might have taken her?
Master Luther has always guarded his secrets. Her Highness might have known, but I couldn't even begin to guess. However, we may have a trace of his movements. I've received unconfirmed reports that a Castrum Demonica has been summoned to the north of the capital. What's more, they said the fortress was summoned by a winged supernatural being of unknown origin.
So Luther summoned a Castrum Demonica as he fled?
As Her Highness's adjutant, I must keep the kingdom's official tasks running smoothly, so her absence goes unnoticed. Can I count on you, Guardian? I am in your debt.
The Guardian hurried to find where Luther had flown off to, with Harriet, his unwilling companion. Each Castrum Demonica that was newly summoned in northern Cuento served as a breadcrumb on the trail. Luther's very use of these demonic fortresses proved he was no longer the same Luther the Guardian had met on Omega. Approaching the first Castrum Demonica, the Guardian stopped short, gazing on in complete shock, as a terribly familiar enemy emerged.
Castrum Demonica confirmed! And it looks like Luther's minions have been called in too! I guess we can stop wondering whether Luther was the one who summoned the castle. Well, we can't just leave these things be. And there might be some trace of Luther here. Time to get our hands dirty.
Emergency! Code due!
not picking up any more readings from the Castrum Demonica. Maybe we can follow some trace from the summoning. What? What's the matter?
Luther? Why won't you tell me where we're going?
You'll see.
But I'm supposed to be studying courtly etiquette today, so...
You're quite the dedicated student, aren't you? Don't worry, it's just one day off. It'll hardly make a difference.
But I made a promise with Mother that I'd keep studying every day. What kind of daughter would I be if I couldn't keep that promise?
Well, I happen to have my own promise to keep with Mother. And mine involved bringing you here. And on that note, here we are.
It's so pretty! I've never seen so many flowers.
Mother loved it here. She asked me to bring you to see it. Even your selfish brother couldn't spurn a deathbed request like that.
I can see why she loved it. I can imagine her coming here.
Royalty has no business crying. We live by the support of the people and support them in turn. We must not show them weaknesses.
Yes, I understand.
But look, do you see anyone else? As long as you're here, you don't need to act brave. For now, the only ones here are you and me. And Mother's spirit watching over us.
Mother's spirit?
She's always there by your side. This is no tale I'm spinning to try and comfort you, Harriet.
Mother! Mother! I miss you so much! I wish you could hold me, stroke my cheek again. Tell me how proud you are of me. Mother!
It's all right. Cry all you need to. I promise, those tears aren't in vain. No one told me I would have to look after you quite this much. No use complaining, I suppose. So much clinging from you. And here I was sure you hated me.
Don't say that, Luther. I don't hate you at all. It just seems like you're the one who hates everyone. Or maybe it's just that you're not interested in anyone else.
Now, why would you think that?
Because you're just too smart. Luther, why are you laughing? Did I say something strange?
That was just out of admiration, Harriet. How blind I was not to notice there was such a fascinating person right under my nose. You're beginning to pique my interest. I wonder just how great this potential in you can grow.
Are you all right? Stay with me. gives you one of Luther's memories? But why would...
Could the false spawn born from the Castrum Demonica have linked you to Luther's memory? I guess this is the kind of thing that can happen in the Akashic Records. I have a bad feeling about all this. We'd better find Harriet quickly.
Good morning, Your Majesty.
Where are we?
Save your struggling, Harriet. Not to worry. No one will find us here. Soon I'll find a way to do this without needing to use you. Just a little longer.
Luther! What are you talking about? What is it you're trying to do?
What a foolish question. All I want is to finally reach infinite knowledge.
You're not my brother. Who are you?
Whatever do you mean, Harriet? You know me. I'm Luther.
Oh, you're Luther's, aren't you? Looks like this is the place. Luther?
This shouldn't work. In theory, it's completely sound. Oh, hello, Harriet. Look at you. Way out here in the hinterlands.
Luther, what have you been up to out here? You're not summoning a Castrum Demonica, are you? This looks different.
Castrum Demonica? Please. Those things were mere paving stones on the path of my research.
And that path leads where?
Give me your best guess.
Well, it would have to be something even more shocking than the Castrum, I suppose.
I want to restore beings that have been lost, to summon them back to their original state. With the ephemera as a catalyst, it should work. They can link us to worlds apart from ours. The rest? Why, it's simply a matter of time. That is, sending that being's spirit and flesh upstream through time to the proper moment.
Luther, are you sure the people will be able to accept that you've done this?
Alas, Harriet, I don't share their belief in gods. I believe only in facts and my own potential.
Sending beings upstream in time? Not even Arx has that kind of technology. If he was planning to use ephemera to do it, I'm not surprised Harriet was worried. We better hurry. This little fairy body is starting to get goosebumps.
Marvelous, Harriet. I didn't dare hope for this much magic from something so hastily thrown together. This must be the catalyst at work. Or could something about the soul itself be the key? Oh, Harriet! What troves of precious data you've brought me! What finer a guinea pig could a researcher want?
What are you trying to do, Luther? Out with it!
I'm making a fresh start, so I can succeed where I once failed. The time is finally ripe. At long last, I have the ability to see this through. And then, at last, it will be mine. Infinite knowledge. Omniscience. Wait, what am I?
Luther?
What have I been doing all this time? My dear Harriet, the only person who understood me.
Luther, no!
Of course. Why should I hesitate? I will summon the lost Akashic records. Knowledge of the entire universe will be mine. Now is the time. Here is the place. I just need to harness the power of the ephemera and perform the conjuration properly. I will know it once more. All that is, was, and ever will be. You see, Harriet, won't it be wonderful?
You speak of a line we were never meant to cross. Try as you might, Luther. You'll never succeed.
What?
Have you already forgotten, Luther? When the proof is right here, chained up before you! Luther? What did you call me here for?
There you are, Harriet. You weren't followed? There'd be hell to pay if Father found this place.
Father's furious. He says we're shirking our responsibilities. I had to try and calm him down myself. Have a heart for your sister, Luther.
I'm surprised he hasn't realized it's a waste of time entrusting his errant son with royal duties. An utter waste of my time. Leaving petty things aside, you asked me why I called you here, yes? Well, I finally found the next step beyond conjuration, summoning beings upstream or downstream through time. Quantum conjuration.
And your plan is to follow through with this quantum conjuration?
Of course. What would my years of research have been for if I didn't bring this to fruition? I'm going to finally understand how this world began. Dear sister, I'm going to summon the primordial being. I'll know all there was to know. Doesn't the idea just tantalize you? Harriet! Harriet! Damn it, wake up! Stay with me! It's all my fault! I conjured that awful thing! If someone has to die here, it should be me! Please, Harriet! Don't die! Not you. Anyone but you! Come back to me!
What did you see this time?
Luther was crying and cradling Harriet? And she was dead? Wait, but Harriet's still alive! I mean, that's who we're going to save! But if what you saw really happened, and Harriet did die, then... who, or what, is the Harriet we all know?
The pieces are all in place. It's time to perform the quantum conjuration on the Akashic records. And Harriet, what a perfect vessel you'll be. Just think, you'll be reborn at last as an almighty being. What's wrong? There's nothing to fear. This isn't death. It's a new beginning. You'll play host for something far greater. Its soul will keep yours company in that body. And with your help, at last, infinite knowledge will be mine!
And then what, Luther? If that's who you even are. What do you see when all of that is said and done?
Are you questioning a scientist on the value of his work?
If my life is the cost of helping save our people, or perhaps even the world, then you can have it. I'll give it gladly. But you seem to have something else in mind, so I think I'll choose to die for something far greater. My entire existence, the reason blood pumps through my veins, is so I can fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. And as the one who brought me here for that very purpose, you should know better, Luther.
Brought you here? But that can't be. I saw you. You were right here, Harriet. You were laying right here.
Harriet, are you all right? Guardian! Sierra! I was hoping you'd come.
How did you meddlers find this place?
It's right where you said it would be. I guess that means everything you saw was real.
I can't believe this. You find a way to be a thorn in my side every single time. Were you born to destroy my work?
Hold on. Every time? Right. No one else but the Fallen would have said that.
Fallen? Luther, the Fallen. Yes, it is I. The man who will become one with the Akashic records. You Arx pissant. Trying to thwart me just once didn't satisfy you?
Please be careful!
Your Majesty, code due.
Dare to fight me? This isn't the solution.
Completed.
This isn't over. As long as I have the ephemera, I can still do this!
Ignore those things. He'll just keep conjuring new ones. Focus on stopping Luther. Wait, Harriet!
Luther. The Fallen, was it? If you're planning to use all that wisdom and power for your own selfish ends, instead of for the people of our land, then I will stop you. That is my duty, as the Queen of Quinto, and as your sister!
It's all right, Harriet. You have been exceptional. You dealt justice even to me without flinching. If you bear that determination proudly on your sleeve, you'll be able to purge the ephemera.
Luther! It's you! Oh, thank goodness. I knew you would finally come back to your senses.
You jest, Harriet. As if there's been a single moment in my entire life where I behaved like a sensible person.
Oh, Luther, what possibly possessed you to do this?
When I stopped the Crimson Fellworm, I knew this might be a consequence. The ephemera, they consume your very mind, as I'm sure Lutz discovered. If that had to be the outcome, I hoped at least to help build a foundation for our country, for your rule. Harriet, you did the right thing. You held firm and brought judgment down on those who violated the ban and threw our land into chaos, even your own flesh and blood.
Luther, please.
My ego certainly made a lot of trouble for you. Please, let me ask you one favor. Look after my sister. Stay by her side. My sister? That's rather a smug way to put it, wouldn't you say? Please spare me the trifling questions. There's just one Luther. Whatever versions of me you know, they are me. Which is to say, the desire to protect that girl was something within me all along. I just so happen to be fed up with being stuck in Gemini, and with the profound darkness too. I have no qualms with lending you my power. I won't play teacher. Just use it well. Do that, and I imagine you'll glimpse the cruelty of reality, of that ancient despair. Harriet. Remember this. You are a real person.
I will! I'll remember, Luther.
Harriet?
It's all right. I won't cry. Tears have no place in royalty's eyes.
You actually had words with Luther? And he said he'd lend you his power?
Do you feel physically all right?
Oh my. Is the ultimate being hoping I'll wield my influence? She needn't worry. I'm content to keep quiet. For now. My only interest is this place I'm currently occupying. I have no intention of getting involved in other trifling matters. So why don't you just act natural? It wouldn't help either of us if things suddenly got complicated.
What's wrong? Your face has turned quite a strange color. Are you really all right? Well, if you say so, I'm just worried about Luther's power getting cozy in there.
So now you've got Luther's power in there too. But nothing about you looks different, statistically speaking. No increase in F factor.
It's the same as Elder. No urgent issues as far as we can tell. As for your abilities, we'll keep them under observation. But our priority needs to be Omega.
Listen, I know Luther sacrificed himself to drain the ephemera from the Crimson Fellworm, but even so...
I understand why you have your doubts, Matoy, but I promise it's true. The Luther from Omega had a bit of a sharp tongue, but he was a good brother at least, right?
Well, Omega is just a replay of the memories in the Akashic Records, after all. Maybe the Luther you met there was like the one we knew, back before we'd ever met him. The pre-Luther Luther, if you will.
Well, I guess that would fit in with what Euclida once told us. Apparently, when she was apprentice, even her mind wasn't fully her own. We know Luther wanted to control the Dark Falls' power, but maybe he was the one getting controlled instead. But there's no way we can actually confirm that. And even if we could, it wouldn't excuse what he's done.
But there's one thing that still bothers me. In those visions of Harriet's and Luther's past...
Harriet's death, yes? If Luther was involved in that, well, there must be a deep, dark secret hidden somewhere.
Let's try asking Harriet more about it once she's had time to collect herself more.
Sun